Marama Davidson.
Tēnā koe, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I would strongly like to disagree with my fellow Tai Tokerau Whanaunga MP Pita Paraone, and will state very clearly on behalf of the Green Party that it is not at all laziness why any one of us Māori particularly are struggling to reclaim our tupuna language. But I won't spend too much time on that because this is something we all actually definitely understand. With due respect, Pita Paraone, it has always been colonisation and policies that were structured nationwide to destroy the language out of us. I've always said that Te Reo lives and dies in the home, and I'll say again, in the example of my grandmother, it most certainly, after she was beaten, died in our home, which leads to the point that it will also be revived in our homes as well as many other places. But the Greens want to never forget the importance of any legislation, any policies, any programs, ensuring that they impact directly on the mokopuna being born into our homes. That is where the language was attacked. That is where the language will survive. On that point, I sort of agree with my Tai Tokerau Whanaunga Pita Paraone in that the apology nor this piece of legislation was ever supposed to cure on its own the centuries, the generations of colonisation practices that it destroyed our language in the first place. So I want to acknowledge again all of us struggling with love and revival to claim our language back, all of the incredible generations of blood, sweat and tears from those who have gone before us to fight for the fact that we have got it at all. But I did want to just, for a couple of minutes, turn to my supplementary order paper, number 167, which calls for an independent review panel, as opposed to what is essentially an in-house review of the fruits and the downfalls and the shortfalls of the bill after 3 years. I want to thank directly the Minister's Office for opening up to engagement and kōrero. I believe that the Minister genuinely wants a good, robust review with what is currently in place in this law, but the Greens stand by a call for an independent review. We believe that there is indeed enough of a pool of expertise to have an independent panel that is not from Te Mātāwai, that is not from the Crown. Our tupuna before us worked hard enough that we do indeed today at least have enough of an expertise around the country to form what would essentially be an independent panel, because we do need to know there do not need to be any barriers when we assess how this bill has really been going. It needs to be transparent, it needs to be frank, open and honest, and that's why we've put our amendment in. It needs to, I also understand that the current review doesn't stipulate particular terms of reference. The Greens would like to note that specifically we'd like to review, have the issues of hapu and small iwi been addressed by Te Mātāwai and this legislation? Is the selection process fair? Other members have highlighted those concerns on whether, again, everybody is being represented. Is there sufficient resource and is it fairly distributed from Te Mātāwai? So those are some of the specific issues that we'd like to see reviewed. Again, I want to say I'm thankful to the Minister's Office for the engagement over these amendments to the bill, and the Greens would like to go on record because this is important. It's not the be-all and the full sum of what needs to happen on our real journey, but it is legislation from the leadership of this House, and it is important, and for that reason we'd like to see that the review be independent. Kia ora.